The Tales of the Jedi series came out a few days ago, and I managed to watch all 6 episodes in one night. Not too difficult to do as they are all 15-minute shorts. This video is my review only of the 3 episodes that focused on Count Dooku. And with how disappointing Star Wars has been in recent years, I would say these 3 shorts were the best content that I've seen in years outside of the final season of Clone Wars. But let's get into the review. The second episode of the series is titled Justice. In this episode, Dooku and his apprentice, who is obviously Qui-Gon, but at the end of the episode, Dooku calls him Qui-Gon Jinn like it's a meaningful reveal. If you're so oblivious to Star Wars lore that you don't know that this would be Qui-Gon, then you're probably not watching this series in the first place. They're on a mission to save a kidnapped senator's son on an unnamed planet. And for Fallout fans, tell me this environment doesn't remind you of parts of the Commonwealth. The people of this village kidnapped the senator's son because they had been neglected by the senator, left poor and destitute. It's not said precisely why they can't elect a new senator, it's just assumed that it's due to corruption. Though even the senator's son is surprised by the conditions that people are living in. The senator arrives at the village prepared to wipe it out to set an example. But during the battle, Dooku and Qui-Gon side with the villagers, even though they were sent to save the senator's son. As the villagers are picked off one by one, the dark side starts to rise in Dooku. He force chokes the senator and sends Qui-Gon flying when he tries to stop him. He stops right before killing the senator after Qui-Gon releases the son. And Dooku seems genuinely surprised and remorseful for his actions, though in the end, he both retains his attitude towards Republic corruption and admits that it was Qui-Gon's action that saved the day. At this time, Dooku and Qui-Gon are about the same age as Obi-Wan and Anakin in Attack of the Clones, though they seem to have the reverse relationship, where the Padawan is the wiser one, albeit somewhat naive, and Dooku has started to have misgivings about serving the Republic and has started to give in to the dark side. Moving on to episode 3, titled Choices, we see Dooku at the point in his life when Qui-Gon has become a Jedi Knight or even a Master. Dooku and Mace Windu have gone to the planet Raxus Secundus to meet with a Senator Lyric and retrieve the body of the deceased Jedi Master Katri, who was supposedly killed in an ambush. While Dooku wants to further investigate her cause of death, Windu simply wants to retrieve the body and report back to the Council despite having misgivings of his own. The 2 Jedi Masters learn that Master Katri was killed in a conspiracy perpetrated by the Senator's guards, who are part of a growing rebellion on the planet. They attempt to ambush Dooku and Windu in the same place where they killed Master Katri, but at the end of the fight, only one guard is left alive, who explains that they had initially planned on assassinating the senator because he had been selling off the planet's land to various industries to get rich, with Master Katri being an unfortunate casualty. They changed their plan to try and force the senator to put their agenda forth at the Senate before the 2 Jedi Masters came to investigate. I think this episode does a perfect job of highlighting the contrast between someone like Windu, who always follows protocol and believes in the purpose that the Jedi and the Republic serve without reservation, which makes him blind to corruption and somewhat ignorant of the plight of the common man, and someone like Dooku, who prefers truth and justice over strict adherence to the dogma of the Jedi and is slowly seeing how the corruption of the Republic will never change. His attitude toward the Jedi is further soured when Mace Windu is given the council spot previously held by Master Katri, and he wonders if that had anything to do with Windu's actions towards the investigation. Episode 4, titled The Sith Lord, sees another time jump, with this episode occurring concurrently with Phantom Menace. Dooku is in the Jedi Temple Library erasing Kamina from the archive, which we know Obi-Wan finds out about in Attack of the Clones while investigating the death of Sifo Dyas and the creation of the Clone Army. He learns about Qui-Gon's encounter with Darth Maul on Tatooine from Master Jocasta, and goes to confront Qui-Gon, who is talking with Master Yaddle. This would be the point in the film right after Qui-Gon had brought Anakin to the temple. Outside of Legends continuity, this is only Yaddle's second appearance. And speaking on the subject of the Sith Lord as a member of the Council, Yaddle believes Qui-Gon's claims about Maul, but also thinks that the Order should be cautious. Dooku argues that he's been warning the Council about a growing darkness for years. However, during this conversation, it's also important to note that Dooku still cares about and respects his former Padawan a great deal. Skip ahead to the end of the Phantom Menace after the deaths of Qui-Gon and Darth Maul. Yaddle tells Dooku that they will be meeting on Naboo for the funeral, but Dooku says he won't attend. Sensing that Dooku has resolved to do something, Yaddle follows him as he leaves the Jedi Temple and heads to the sector of Coruscant containing Palpatine's lair, or at least the lair he uses when he's acting as Darth Sidious. At this point, I thought Dooku would pledge complete allegiance to Sidious, but he's angry that Sidious had allowed Qui-Gon to die, stating that he could have been an ally. While it's likely that he said this more out of his friendship with Qui-Gon than actually believing that his former apprentice would join him, I wouldn't utterly discount the idea. I'm not saying that Qui-Gon would have become a Sith Lord, but you can't say that he didn't see eye to eye with Dooku on many things. Remember in episode 2, Dooku used the Force against his apprentice and Force choked a guy, and it seems like Qui-Gon never reported his master's actions to the Council. The two have remained good friends over the years, with Qui-Gon still holding respect for his former master. Imagine what would have happened if Qui-Gon hadn't died. Again, I don't think that Qui-Gon would have joined the Sith. On the contrary, I think that in the end he would have convinced Dooku to return to the Jedi Order, and together they could create change from within. Also think about how Anakin would have turned out. With a more open-minded father figure to teach him and raise him instead of the stricter older brother role that Obi-Wan filled, Anakin might have learned to work within the system as Qui-Gon had without turning to the dark side. I went on a tangent there, but getting back to the episode, Yaddle had followed Dooku and she heard the discussion between Dooku and Sidious and revealed herself to confront them. She admits to Dooku that she stepped down from the Council due to having similar misgivings about the Jedi Order, but that she won't go as far as to betray them. She tries to sway Dooku to her side, but so does Sidious, using this as an opportunity for Dooku to prove his loyalty by killing Yaddle in the same way that Anakin killed Mace Windu. While obviously conflicted, his anger toward the corruption of the Republic and the negligence of the Jedi Order win over, and he kills Yaddle, completing his fall. That last episode was so good, not just the best of the 3, but of all 6. The score, with its eerie and sinister tones, was perfect for the episode, and it reminded me of the score from Revenge of the Sith when Anakin was slowly turning to the dark side. In fact, all 3 episodes showed us how similar the journeys of Dooku and Anakin were. They started with noble intentions, but ended up giving into anger and fear. While I wouldn't say that it was necessary to flesh out Dooku's backstory, I'm glad they did. It makes his leading the Separatist movement make a lot more sense. And again, they did all this in about 45 minutes. And they hit just the right points of his life to demonstrate what caused his disillusionment with the Jedi Order. Granted, I think they could have done a little better than saying that those senators were just vaguely corrupt. Like in episode 2, when the old woman mentions that they couldn't elect a new senator, saying, if only it were that easy. Like, are you going to elaborate, or are we supposed to just assume that kidnapping was your best option? But again, 15-minute shorts. I need to be more naive in order to say that this is a sign of Disney Star Wars turning around. After all, this is just one half of a 6-episode season of shorts, but I hope we get more content like this in the future. If you guys enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Also hit that notification bell so you never miss out on a new video. I'll see you all next time. Bye.